Hello and welcome to the MAC weather page for this Tuesday, June 23rd, and quite a storm last night. Here in our time-lapse photography, you'll see some thunder showers move in, but it'll turn into a nice sunset. But for some of the areas just off to our south, pretty rough night. We're at a number of tornadoes reported across the Great Lakes, 12 in fact right now, and that may go up as the survey teams are out and about. And certainly a pretty rough night. We picked up about a quarter to a half inch here in central Michigan, but areas off to the south got quite a bit more. And if we take a look at the next slide here, you can see temperatures currently this morning in the 60s to low 70s. Again, a much quieter weather pattern will be setting in here over the next 5 days. In fact, very little, if any, precipitation is expected, with the exception of maybe southern lower Michigan, with the system moving off to the south today. Could bring a couple of showers or thunderstorms down there, but again, those will be low chances. And then I think we remain fairly well dry right on through the weekend. Our next chance of rain will come Monday and Tuesday as a reinforcing shot of cold air will come in to help deepen the trough that's going to be setting up shop over the Great Lakes. Meanwhile, out to the western states, they're going to really warm up, and it's going to be darn right hot in the Pacific Northwest. If we look at the precipitation here, you can see Lansing picked up 2.43 inches of rain from this system, and they're now up to just under 7 inches, and there are reports around the Lansing area of over 8 inches so far for the month. So very significant rain there. Also over in London picked up about 2 1/3 inches of rain there as well. If we look at the next slide, this is a damaged structure here in Portland where they did have a tornado, an EF1. It had about 50 to 100 yards at its widest path. It traveled about 4 miles on the ground with wind speeds of around 100 miles an hour, making it an EF1. There was one injury reported last I heard, and again, about 50 structures sustained substantial damage. If we look at the rainfall amounts in this system, you can see a couple of areas that really stick out. From around the Kalamazoo area to the east-southeast, this is 2.5 to 4 inches of rain that fell in that swath. There were a lot of flood advisories and warnings are out this morning. And you can see across the Lansing, and especially the northern suburbs of Lansing, where about 1.5 to 3 inches of rain fell there as well. Most of this area picking up 1 to 2 inches in the green and darker green areas. And again, about a quarter to a half, maybe 2/3 of an inch of rain a little bit farther to the north, and not a bad. The second line of thunderstorms we were most concerned about developed right around the Saginaw Bay City area down to about Kalamazoo, or actually to the west of there. And again, once they moved off to the east and southeast very slowly, they really intensified. And at one time, there were many counties in the Thumb and Saginaw Valley region that were under tornado warnings. If we look at the forecast map for later today, our low will move well off to the east, cold front with it. And again, most of the precipitation will be well south of the state. Can't rule out an isolated shower or thunderstorm across the southern part of the state. And then as we get into tomorrow, the next system that'll move along that frontal boundary should be far enough again off to the south where I think most areas will be dry. Maybe a chance as we get into Thursday across far southern lower Michigan as that system moves right across the Ohio Valley. But again, for the central Michigan, northern Michigan, and the UP, it looks like things will be high and dry for the next 5 days. And you can see some soil conditions. You can see the moisture charts. The 8 and 16-inch levels are very wet. And we were just starting to dry out the 2-inch levels, and they took a big dip down towards the saturation point again with that rain we got last night. And you can see growing degree days around the state of Michigan. The ones in red are the MAC stations. The one in black are from a Michigan state site that I went to. And we'll try to update these a couple times a week. And if we look at the MAC stations, you can see pretty much we're not a whole lot ahead of the last couple of years. Most areas are some. But the big thing is the planting dates are about 2 weeks prior than they were last year, and about 10 days from the year before. And we had very good soil moistures to allow things to really get jump started as well. Thanks for stopping by and have a great day, and 73s to all.